Did y'all watch Colorado steamroll past Utah, putting up 49 points, essentially doubling the score? 24 times 2, 48 plus 1, 49. 49 and 24. And it's reported that Utah has the #1 defense in the Big 12. So we just steamrolled past the #1 defense in the Big 12, and it's not BYU. So today's game has Colorado, Coach Prime, and the Buffs rubbing their hands like Birdman, looking at BYU holding on to our #2 spot. Now, right this moment, BYU is fighting for its undefeated life, just like Miami did against Georgia Tech, against a 3-6 or 3-5 Kansas, who we face next week. And Kansas is up 17-3 with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So it's a lot of time. I'm staying up to see the game. I want to see what happened. And I hope Kansas wins. So let's talk about Utah. Shout out to Utah's defense. They did put up a fight, but when your offense scores 49 points to your 24, I'm just saying, for us to steamroll BTA them like that, it just shows you that Colorado can go all the way. I have said this. I said at the beginning of the season, UCF would be the toughest game because can we stop the run? Yes. Now, everybody talked about their running game, right? Everybody talked about Utah's running game. They didn't ask if we stopped the run. They just said it would be a tough challenge. So let's talk about it. So Shedeur Sanders had himself a game after having a first interception, the first play of the game. Shedeur Sanders was 30 of 41. That's good. 340 yards. Heisman candidate. 3 touchdowns, and of course, 1 interception. Now, the game didn't start off well for us because, you thought that interception would have just put a damper in our spirits. Nope. And you know what? That's good. You know why? Because I think we're going to the college football playoffs. And the game might be a little closer and a little tougher than usual. And we don't give up. Colorado is resilient. So if we fall behind, doesn't mean it's over. Not saying that that's going to happen. What I'm saying is this team knows exactly who they are and they trust each other. I bet nobody fretted for Colorado on that sideline or, on the offense when it happened. I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, let's just move on to the next one. So 340 yards. If Shedeur Sanders is not in the top 5 for Heisman candidates, then somebody need to investigate somebody because that's criminal. It is because his last name is Sanders and because people want to see Colorado fall. And too bad because even, what's his name? LeBron put it out there that where all the haters at. I'm like, oh, they quiet. They're always usually somewhere plotting, but I think they realize it's not really anything you could do but hope and wish that somebody come along and pick us off and knock us out the top. Let's review keys to victory. Now, y'all know we won 49-24. So yesterday, I said, keys to the victory are #1, run up the score. Check. 49-24. We doubled the score +1. Score early. Keys to victory #2, score early. Check. Colorado had 14 points at the end of the first quarter alone. And we held them to 3, which is just a field goal. Okay, key to victory #3, no taunting. There was no taunting penalty that caused us any loss in yardage. I think Travis had a penalty on sportsmanlike conduct. I didn't hear anybody fret about that, so we just gonna keep it moving. This was after there was a forced fumble by Colton Hood, who I need to see on that field more often. That young man brings the energy and he brings the hits. So he forced the fumble on Utah. It popped up in the air and Travis caught it. Awesome. And then in exhilaration, he just threw it up in the air. They need to change that. That's not unsportsmanlike. And so check, no taunting. And 4, CU's defense has to bring it. Well, you just heard me say Travis, Colton Hood, the forced fumble, BJ Green, Keaton Wade, fumble recovery, sacks, Nakai Hill Green, interception, Nakai Hill Green, Thomas with the sacks. Oh my God. Of course, Chidozie, the front 7, DJ McKinney did well today. So the entire defense, I said they needed to bring it. Defense wins championships. So I'm rubbing my hands. You see Colorado's defense? Colorado's defense is no joke. And there are teams out there who are already going to the playoffs, who know that they're going to the playoffs, and they're watching Colorado. You best believe that. And one of them is they play for likes and clicks. That's right, Oregon. So Skip Bayless is talking about it on his podcast. He said, could Colorado play Oregon in the playoffs? I need that game too. See, I said I want to play Miami. And I'm like, but you know what? For Colorado to play Oregon, that would be God making the crooked places straight. Because y'all know Oregon was the first game, the 4th game of the season last year, was the first game where somebody started meddling and Colorado began a downward trajectory. Because people like, oh, they just didn't have the depth. Well, they had it when they went 3-0, but they didn't have it when they went 4-8. No. Meddling. So if we get to play Oregon in the college football playoffs, that rematch, that's from the one upstairs. You best believe that. And we're going to handle some business. And so that's number 4. So far, run up the score, check. Score early, check. No taunting, check. CU defense has to bring it, check, check, check. And defend the wheel route. Well, I didn't hear much about it, but there didn't seem to be an issue with it. But I will tell you this. There were 2 plays that for the first time, one involved Travis Hunter and DJ McKinney. And today was the first time any offense in college football that we have played this season scored on Mr. Travis Hunter. Yup. And DJ McKinney got scored on. So that's 14 right there. That's 14 of that 24 points. And I'm pretty sure they kicked 3 field goals. So as you can see, we got to nip that in the bud. Because people are going to watch that. They are going to try to figure that out. So we got to nip that in the bud. And I saw some good blocking by Cash Cleveland. Man, Cash Cleveland, Colorado going all the way next year. Trust me on that one. With the people that are coming back next year that's showing out this year, the Colton Hoods, Keaton Wade, Cash Cleveland, Jordan Seaton, man. Then you have LaJonte's brother. I forget his first name, but Mr. Overly Blessed, that Wester, he'll be back. LaJonte going straight to the league. Straight to the league. He gonna collect his $200 and he gonna keep it moving. You know how you play Monopoly? They say go straight to go and collect your $200. Mr. LaJonte Weston is going to the league. I say he's a late first rounder. That's just my opinion. Now, I didn't get to see Jimmy Horn Jr. today. I think he's still out. But you know what? I say, you know what? It's really okay. You know why? Because we have postseason games to play. And we need him healthy. So we got this until we get to the postseason. Or really the next 2 games. Starting the next 2 games into the postseason. So Jimmy Horn Jr., you get well soon. I went live today, but something happened to it, so I couldn't put it out there. So the keys to the victory, we lived up to it. Scored 49 points on them, doubled the score, +1. And I told y'all that one of the fans for Utah said that they felt like they were stuck with Isaac Wilson. Well, I'm going to just say this. Isaac Wilson got an arm on him, which is probably why they recruited him in the first place. He already has a brother, Zach Wilson, that's in the league, right? Those two plays, the one where they scored on Travis and scored on DJ McKinney, were long lobs from Isaac Wilson. And it's true, I watched him overthrow the ball. But if they stick with him, I think they could have a star in that young man. And they already have, I think it was a Singer, good running back. So shout out to Utah. You could see that they'll be better next year. They're just hampered by injuries right now. But even if they weren't hampered by injuries, I still think we would have won the game. It could have been a little closer because they play fast. That's one thing about them. But yeah, Colorado defeated the #1 defense in the Big 12. So on to Kansas.